Terry Taylor says on the WCW hotline that Al Snow came in all stuck up, making financial demands and bragging about a WWF offer when, quote, Snow has never done anything in wrestling, never drawn a dime in 12 years in wrestling, and just believes what people in the newsletters say about him. He goes on this rant on August 8th on the hotline, and he's not done there. He goes on to say, Guerrero has never drawn any money. He said Malenko demanded full control of his programs and, quote, he's never done enough in wrestling to make a demand like that. And he closes with, Malenko and Guerrero have never been anywhere or done anything in wrestling. So he's pretty hot that these guys didn't just immediately take the offer. So maybe that lends itself to maybe Terry was the guy who originally just, quote unquote, discovered these guys for WCW and then turns them down. What was Terry's role at the time? Is it just creative? What's his official title? And were guys allowed to go into business for themselves on the hotline like this? Or this should have been a Bischoff directive? Hey, if they don't want to come in, fucking bury them.
That would not, I don't think that would have been a Bischoff directive, number one. Now, going back to Terry Taylor always was involved in the creative end of it, the booking committee. But guys who were in the booking committees were kind of in charge of talent, too. I guess the WWE had a person in charge of talent. JR was that for a while. But I don't think there was one person in charge of talent, with the exception of maybe they made Terry in charge of it. Here's another thing, too. I believe that most things that you heard and saw from us back then were a work. What Terry had to say could have been legit because it was a 900 number, but I don't believe any of it. I just, you could, even the Hogan thing, and we'll get into that, I know, in the Bash of the Beach. I was immune to all that shit. I thought everything that I saw was a fucking work. Everything. And it kind of numbed me to the business of what is a shoot and what is a work. So I'm not saying that what Terry said on the 900 number was a shoot, but I'm saying it very well could have been a work. And a work just trying to, if people call the hotline, though, they would say, holy shit, this guy is really ripping on this guy. This stuff's for real. And maybe it really wasn't. But it got people to call the hotline.
Is your...
So I don't know. Okay. Again, I don't know what Terry would and the company would have benefited from something like that, right?
Well, we're talking about real and fake. What everybody wants to know is, are Deborah's breasts real?
So Terry was on the hotline for, fuck you, man. And I say that with great affection because I am trying to think, and now all of a sudden, whoop, the puppies are in my mind.
Yeah, and the blood flow is leaving your brain. They start Sabu in late August and have him at a pro taping so they can get footage of him to use in a promotional video to build anticipation. And this seems like 100 years ago, but back then Sabu was a bit of an underground superstar who had a ton of buzz, but didn't really have mainstream exposure yet in the United States. So Bischoff smartly decides to have him do a taping prior to Nitro so they can build a package highlighting his unique style and then show it on the debut edition of Nitro to build some interest for the second Nitro. And after all this hype and buzz and promotion on the second edition of Nitro, we get the match we all want to see, Sabu versus Alex Wright. What were your thoughts on Sabu prior to working with him? Had you heard about this buzz? Did you get the tables and chairs and triple jump moonsault and Arabian facebuster and all the gimmicks?
Yeah, I had heard about all that, and I was familiar with who Sabu was. I thought, even back up on the second Nitro, which was in Miami, back up to the first Nitro, and we did a video package.
Yeah.
And again, here we are, Monday Morning Quarterback. To me, that package didn't sell shit.
Nope.
Did not sell. As a matter of fact, the package, and I don't know who's responsible for this, and I apologize because the person responsible for this package, probably I know very well, and I've been very friendly with in my career. But you couldn't even see what he was doing in that package. That did nothing to sell Sabu.
And the table didn't even break. Like the clip, show a clip of the fucking table breaking. It didn't even break.
And you know, it was almost a package to me that was trying to show how fancy we could build packages instead of putting the guy over.
There you go.
And you know, he was doing all these tumbles, and they had all this, these, you know, it wasn't well done. It built up no anticipation for Sabu, none at all, with fans who may have not known him at all.
I totally agree. It was a miss, which is why it didn't last.